So whenever you're ready, because I think you introduced the idea to me, which I think it's a really cool idea, and also probably a good combination of skills because you made like a real-time game. You're a certified game dev now, and I've built the RTC app before. So combining those, I think we'll probably need elements of both if you want to introduce the idea.
Yeah, so for those of you who are currently watching the stream, in fact, I'll go over to the chat. Wait, where's the chat? Already lost the chat. Anyway, so what we're going to try to build, there's something at work we use called Gather Town, which allows you to kind of have like this virtualized 2D board you can walk around. And I thought it'd be a cool idea to kind of learn how to build that. I think the main concepts involve learning about WebRTC, and Zach has some experience building his own, kind of like a Zoom clone. I don't know how you describe it, but I think he dived into WebRTC. Yeah, so we're just going to see how far we can get. We got like 2 hours today, so we're going to try to just pair program. And the things we're going to be doing on the stream are actually kind of like how we work when we do pair programming. We do, I guess you can call it strict pair programming, where we have like a timer. And then we'll kind of switch off every 5 minutes with someone being the driver, someone being the navigator. We'll just see how it goes. This is like the first pair programming stream I've done in a while. So, and Zach, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Zach. I'm also a web dev. I work with Cody. He's great. I made I love to build shit. This is just one of the things that I've built before. I built a little bit of a Zoom clone. And so when Cody pitched this idea, I thought this would be really cool to try and make. So Cody, if you've not worked in WebRTC, you're gonna be like, oh, this is actually really easy. Everything's like built in. And then you're gonna get to a point like, this is actually terrible. This is all the setup and the management of state between the streams is like, oh, this sucks. So I'm excited for you to learn both sides of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you have, do you want to do a diagram? Like I could bring up Eraser or
Yes, I think
something, and you can kind of explain how does WebRTC work? Because honestly, I don't even know how to.
I would love to.
Yeah, you can grab, if you want to use Draw.io or whatever you feel comfortable with. This is kind of what I use, but yeah, I guess let's start with that.
No,
Like, how's it work?
yeah, we'll use Eraser. I mean, we want it to look nice. If you want to make junk, I can make junk. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to start with. There's two ways that we can build it, but the I'll start with the poor man's approach. And then we can go into like, hey, if you're gonna like launch this as a product, what would you do? So can I like make a person? I want to like designate a person. A circle is a poor substitute for person, but
I can show you a
make this a
little
person.
trick. If you hit the /
Yeah,
and then
forward
type
slash. All right.
user, just type user, and then click enter. There you go.
Ooh, yeah. Get rid of this. Okay. So if we have you, Cody, and then we had Zach. So the neat thing about WebRTC is it is true. If you want it to be, this is the big if. If you want it to be, it's truly peer-to-peer. So we can talk directly to one another. Do I have to like bring in an arrow?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Sweet. So if we want it to be without any servers, I'm going to put that in quotations. You and I can communicate directly back and forth with one another. And we don't need a server in order to like host video or share it to. We can communicate directly with one another. The only thing that we need is really for us to be able to start the stream. So you're on a website, I'm on a website. All that we need to do in order to start the stream is like we need to understand what one another's addresses are. So like you have an IP address and I have an IP address, and it's behind a bunch of networking junk. But we need to know, how can I communicate with your computer? That's like the first thing that you have to establish with WebRTC. And that's the only reason that you really need a server. Once you establish the connection, you and I have our own connection and it is totally serverless. So if I were to WebSockets, we got nothing for WebSockets. Server. Yeah, let's get a server. So typically the way this works is like you and I, once we establish a connection, we won't need a server, but we have to figure out what are our IP addresses. So typically the way that this works is you need a WebSocket server for us to be able to communicate with each other. All the WebSocket is facilitating us to be able to do is be able to send messages back and forth to one another. The messages, and I'm talking at a super high level right now, we can dive in a little bit deeper, is really what we're trying to figure out is like my computer needs to know what address do I talk to Cody at, and your computer needs to know what address do I talk to Zach at. So the first thing like that every web app will pretty much do is, and if you look at WebRTC documentation, they'll call this the signaling server, but 99% of the time people use WebSockets. It's just WebSockets. So the first thing usually that you'll do is when you connect to a website is like, you can't talk to me directly because you don't know what IP address I have and what my information is. You are going to talk to the WebSocket server. And you're going to say, hey, I'm connected. That is all that you're going to do. So that would be like the first message is like, you will say that you're connected to some room. Then at some later point, I'm going to join and I'm going to connect to this WebSocket server. I want to go the other way, not this way. Let's go here. I'm going to connect to the WebSockets server and it'll say, hey, Zach has joined. What happens then is we need to be able to send messages that everyone in the room, sorry, Cody T, is able to receive. So once we're connected here, we can basically, just normal WebSocket stuff. You can broadcast messages. So I would broadcast a message saying, hey, I am looking for people to join, and here's my information if you want to join. So I'm going to point an arrow at you, Cody, but it would go basically to the whole room, depending on how you want to do it. So I would send a message saying, hey, come join me. Dang it. I'm so draw.io used. Okay. I would send a message directly to you saying, hey, here's my information. Here is my connection info. And you would send me another message back saying, hey, dang it. I'll get it.
That takes some time to learn different drawing tools, all the shortcuts and stuff.
Oh, I kind of like how it does the text though. You're going to send back, here's my connection info. Once you have my connection info, you can connect to me. Once I have your connection info, you can connect to me. Once that happens, we have each other's. You don't really need this anymore. And you and I, our computers are directly linked, and I'm sending video directly to your computer. You're sending video to my computer. And that's how WebRTC, that's how most WebRTC starts.
Okay, I'm gonna rehash real quick to make sure. So step one is both users kind of connect. So like one Cody connects to WebSocket.
Yep.
And then you said step two is you'd connect. And I guess my question is like, if there's multiple people who join the room, you have to keep this connection kind of online, right? So that you can get notified when more people want to say like, hey, who else is in this room?
Yes. So I'm making it more, I'm dumbing it down.
Okay.
The answer is yes. You keep the WebSocket open the whole time. There's other things that you need to actively update between your and I's connection, but yes, you would keep the WebSocket open. I just wanted to highlight, like, once you establish a connection between both computers, it's just our two computers talking. It has nothing to do with WebSockets. We're directly communicating. Our computers are directly communicating to one another.
Yeah, so when you say connection info, like what exactly are you storing on this WebSocket server? Is this like an IP address or is this something else?
Yeah, so more into the technical nitty-gritty. Let me go open up my other project so I can give you the correct terms. There's a term for this connection info in RTC land. Let me go look that up real quick. It is IP address with a bunch of extra information because IP addresses are not unique. That's like not enough to connect to someone else's computer. It has a bunch more information. Let me look it up real quick.
No worries. While you do that, I'm gonna go back to chat and see if people are kind of streaming this over here. the Zach teach Metasoup? What's that? Welcome to the stream,
Okay.
everybody. What's up, Tina? Thank you for joining in. My wife's watching the stream.
Oh, hey, Tina.
Hello from PH. Check out the SIP protocol.
It is called.
People are saying something about session description protocol.
Yeah.
Someone's saying check the SIP protocol. Someone said, can you please explain the ICE candidates? A lot of new terms
Yeah.
I'd never heard before.
Yeah, you're gonna learn all these. You're gonna learn about ICE candidates, which will be the bane of your existence, and then you'll learn about the session information. It is an offer. Perfect. New offer. Okay. So it is a RTC session description. It is an RTC session description. So what you're gonna do is, it's called creating an offer. So when I say here's my connection info in like tech terms, this will be called a RTC session description. And this is an offer. So when you hear offer, it's like, hey, you can come join me here if you want. And you're sending in that information. If you want to see what that looks like, we can open up a TypeScript file. It's built in, like you have all the types already, but it's not like a package you install. And you can look at what information is in there, but it's gonna look like a lot of gobbledygook, but a lot of it is routing information about how you can connect to one another's computers.
Okay. And that goes from your computer to my computer, basically. Or does that go to the WebSocket
Yes.
server at some point?
So so like the way that we're sending each other messages, because we have not connected yet, is through WebSockets. So I am broadcasting this information. So when I say I'm like sending this message to you, what I'm really doing is like I'm broadcasting it to WebSockets, and WebSockets is sending that message to you saying, hey, someone is offering you, or someone is offering to join them. That's what this like arrow is denoting.
Gotcha.
So that's what this art, like that's what's going on in here. Do you have, can we like just open up some TypeScript file? Maybe it'll be helpful to take a look at what the heck is this thing.
Yeah, let me just make a quick little project. I'll call it like Huddle Up. How about that? Instead of Gather Town,
Nice.
Huddle Up. There you go.
Cool. Let's do it. So let's do RTC peer connection. Is it new RTC peer connection? No, I'm not worried about that yet. Let's just do this. I know. RTC peer connection dot create offer. So when you do this, this is what I would send to you, is this offer. So like what's in the offer? Offer dot SDP and type. So SDP has all the information. You can look at this, but I don't know if it's going to actually help you. It's a bunch of routing information and like network addressing stuff. But this is all that we're sending. It's just an object that has these two things on it. I'm pretty sure both of these are strings. Yeah, it's a string, and I think type is a string.
So you're saying we send the whole offer object over the WebSocket, or do we send just the SDP thing?
We send the whole offer.
Okay.
We send the whole offer over. And then on the other side, what you would be, it's like, I'll give it like a general perspective of like what this is going to look like. Let's imagine this is,
Which are you
if
looking
we
for?
switch back over to
Okay.
here. Imagine you connected first. When you connect, no one's here. So like you might send an offer out, but no one gets it. So I connect second, and that's the important part. Like I have connected second. So I'm going to send a message saying, hey, here's an offer for you to come and connect. Now I would send that message out. So this is like Zach's computer. And I guarantee you're going to screw this up just as I'm going to screw this up, even though I've done it before. Like who's who in this situation. I would send this. I would create an offer and I would do like WebSockets. I know this is not real. .send offer.
Oh.
Over on your computer, Cody's computer, you would do something like you need to create a peer connection. Call this Cody's peer connection. You would create this and you would do where does this happen? Create answer. Is that how you accept an offer? Let me see. New offer. Here it is. Set remote description. That is what it is. It is this. You would do set remote description. And in here, you're going to pass in the offer that you received. So this is supposed to be the offer. So this is Zach's offer. You have just basically, if you're thinking about this like friend requests, you've just accepted my request right here. So this is step 3 in our diagram. I send a WebSockets message and you see that like, oh, someone's sending me an offer. Set remote description with my offer. That is step 3.
Well.
Okay. And I can show you step 4. I can go further, but I have a big caveat before we start. Do you have other questions?
I might be jumping the gun, but like, let's say you have 12 people. Do you have to make a new RTC peer connection for every user?
Dude, it's like you read my mind.
Yeah.
So this is the big caveat I wanted to give. Remember when I said like I'm going to show you the poor man's version, but there's also like how you would do this in like a real production environment. So the poor man's version is this. You and I are connecting directly to one another's computer. If we had a third person, let's say that we had no user. We got Tina. Let's say Tina's joining. Blam. If she were to join ours, then she's going to do the same thing. And she is going to end up sending an offer, sending a connection, and make it to both of our computers. So she would connect to you. She would also connect to me. I'm going to delete this in a second. I know this is like not the best diagram, but it's just to like show it off. So now you kind of have this mesh network where I am connected to both you and Tina. Tina's connected to both you and me. And the good thing about this is this requires no servers. The problem with this is like, it's like acting like you're putting a lot of stress on the client. For every person that connects, you need to stream your video to them and you need to download their video. So if you have 2 people join, Cody, you're uploading 2 videos at the same time. If a third person joins or a fourth person joins, you'd be uploading 3 videos at the same time and downloading 3 videos at the same time, which is a ton of traffic.
Gotcha.
So if you had 12 people join, you're probably, and you were to use this like architecture, it would probably break your computer. So if you're wondering, like Zoom is using this. If we were to go past like 6 people in a room, like it, everything would be exploding. I mean, even at 6 people, like you better have a pretty good computer because you're encoding 6 videos and uploading 6 videos at the same time, which is like more stressful than what you're doing now by streaming to Twitch and YouTube.
Do you think that's how Gather does it? Like, do you think it uses WebRTC under the hood?
It certainly uses WebRTC, but there's 2 like this is style 1, and I'm going to show you, there's also style 2, if you want me to show you that.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I showed you when there's 2 individual people. The other way that you can do this is, let's have a server. I forget the name of the server, but it's a very specific, there's a very specific name. So rather than having, so let's do option 1 and option 2. Where's text? Text. This is direct, peer to peer. And let's get a couple of users in here. So the way that this works is like kind of like a connected graph. Everybody is connected to everyone else. So if you have 4 people, all 4 people are going to be connected to one another. So you're connected to you, you're connected to you, how can I, please tell me how I can make more arrows all at the same time.
Yeah, just keep pressing A after you drop an arrow. It's
Okay.
kind of strange, but
Okay. You're connected to you, you're connected to you. Everybody's connected to everybody else. So this is like the peer-to-peer style.
which is what you just described above, right? Or
This is what I just described above.
okay.
So this is direct peer-to-peer style. The other style is it's a server implementation. So server RTC. So rather than everyone connecting to everyone else, you would do something like this, where if you had 4 people, ba 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 and ba ba, if you were to have 4 people, that's not what I want. I want server. Everyone is not connecting to themselves. The server is handling all video streaming happens through the server. So everyone connects to this server, and this server is what is handling all the video streams. So the nice thing about the architecture down below is you, even though you're in a chat with 4 people, you're only uploading 1 video. That is like one of the major benefits. You don't need to send a new video for every single person that's joining. And this is all through WebRTC, Cody. So it's just this, there's a name for the server. I forget what it's called, but it was built into the RTC protocol. So like they thought of this. This is like the video handling server. And it's also still through WebRTC. It's just, you remember when you said like RTC session description, here's my connection info. You're just, instead of doing that peer-to-peer, you're sending the RTC session description to this video server. And it's facilitating all of the connections.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I guess the Zoom clone you made, which approach did you take?
I'm a poor man.
There you go. Zoom peer to peer.
So, I mean, the big cost of this is like, now you're handling video streams and you're handling like 5 video streams. It's a lot of data, and you have a server that needs to not only take all those video streams, but you have to send them out to everybody else. So regardless of where you set this up, that's a lot of ingress and egress, and you need a pretty beefy server to be able to handle lots of videos. Maybe not a beefy server, but like you wouldn't be able to do it like to do this with like 25 people trivially. You need it, your computers need to it's gonna need to have some hardware to be able to handle that. So that's why this is like how Zoom does it. This is how Gather probably does it. Because otherwise you just wouldn't be able to walk into a room and listen to people. But this is peer-to-peer. So like, if you just had 2 people, if this was a chat app for just 2 people, like if this was FaceTime, you should use this. There's no reason to have the server in between, because when you're peer-to-peer, it's actually faster and there's less chance for like latency. But if you have more than that, you're probably going to want to do this if you've got the money for it. This will be more stable.
Yeah, and I would assume the top approach is more like secure if you don't want a server eavesdropping on your conversation, since it is just connecting to someone's phone, right?
That is correct.
Cool.
That
Yeah, that
is
was
correct.
good. That was a great explanation. Let's go to chat real quick and see if anyone has questions. But I think, unless there's anything else you wanted to touch on, I think we can actually just try to build this out, like the prototype or something, just so we can kind of see it in action. If that sounds
I
good.
think that would be great. I wanted to ask you once we get there.
Someone did mention something called Media Soup, which is like a Node.js library for WebRTC. Did you come across that, or did you kind of use the lower level
I
primitives?
use a lower level, but that's not because I did some incredible amount of research. So Media Soup might be very helpful for making this happen, but I use the primitives.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down to just go with the primitives so I have a better understanding. Can you explain the reply? Let's see. Yeah, we don't have to answer all these questions. There are some questions, but I think we should just jump into the code because when you're streaming, you end up just spending the whole time answering questions and not actually coding. So we're going to ignore some of your questions. Sorry, guys, but hopefully we can get some work done. I think he has like 2 hours today for streaming. So yeah, I mean, I think if we want to tackle this as simple as possible, what would you say would
Mhm.
be the first thing we do? Like, would that be the WebSocket server or like the HTML file that kind of tries to connect to one?
Mm, setting up a WebSocket server is the very first thing that you would do. Otherwise, the two you wouldn't be able to talk to any of the computers. You need the WebSocket server.
All right. Let's just jump into it. So for those watching,
Woo.
we try to do strict pair programming. We're kind of flexible where we work. Some people just kind of go heads down on a story. If the story is more complex, we'll try to do pair programming and ensemble programming. We'll have like 2 or 3 people kind of coding together. So that's what we're going to do here. This is an application that you built this. Zach built this little mob timer where you can add people in. And you can say how long you want the timer to go. So we'll do like 5 minutes. And he's also connected to my computer using an application called Pop. So we can both share the same computer. Hopefully it doesn't have much latency. Do you have much latency when you're trying to connect?
I didn't back then, no.
Okay.
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, so let's just jump into it. The map means I'm navigating, which means that I'm basically telling Zach what to do, what to type, and he kind of just, follows my instructions, but he can interrupt me and ask questions if he has any questions and stuff. And then, yeah, anything else? You think we should just jump into it?
No, I think that we are ready to jump in. Actually, I do have one question for you.
Sure.
The idea of this was like a little bit of a um, gather, but maybe one that could be locally hosted. Do you want to start with the WebRTC side of this rather than the 2D connected people side of this?
Yeah, I don't think we'll have time to do the actual like visualizations. I think getting the RTC stuff would be the hardest thing for me because I've never done it. So just seeing
Yeah,
that, and if we have time, maybe in the future we can keep doing some streams or something and build upon it.
yeah, yeah. I'd love it. I'd love it. I think I'm ready then.
All right, yeah, start whenever.
Okay. Cody, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so set up the WebSocket server is the first one. So I'm thinking set up a basic npm project here. Like you could load up a terminal and just
Okay.
npm in it.
Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Sure. Test command, get repo, all beautiful. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Wow, that's good. All right, we got a package JSON. Do you want me to make it TypeScript?
Sure.
Yeah,
Actually, I wonder if we should just use. Did you use Bun with the WebRTC stuff?
I never did, but we can.
Let's just keep going forward with what you're doing.
I did this super basic uh init of a project. I don't know if you want me to use like Vite to start a project or anything like that, but I
Yeah,
did the bare bones.
Yeah, let's just not deviate because I'm sure you have your own project code on your computer that we can reference if
I
we
do.
get stuck, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I guess now make a change test to index.ts or something, and
Okay.
I don't know. I guess create a WebSocket server however you want. You can vibe code it. We are using Cursor, so you're welcome to. I don't know if you vibe code much or if you do AI development much.
I did in the past, but that was back when the tools weren't as good. So then I'm like, this isn't helping me. It's getting my way. So I'm in to try it. We need to create, like, we need some infrastructure. So I don't know how you want to do a deployment, but like the WebSocket server, we got to deploy somewhere for us to communicate.
Yeah.
Or we can make a node WebSocket server. I don't know, but we just need one.
I see. Like if we actually wanted to test both of our computers connecting to it.
Yes. Otherwise, we can't do this.
I wonder if we can just use like ngrok or something. I guess the first step, let's just focus on getting like a WebSocket server created. So like I would just clear out all this code.
Okay.
And then you can either copy it from your project and we can gut out the stuff you don't think is relevant, or like if you wanted to use agent mode, you could say like set up a really basic WebSocket server using. Did you use Socket.io or what did you use?
No, well, only because it's the devil that I know was I used like the primitive AWS WebSocket with API gateway. I use
Oh,
that for a WebSocket
you went
server.
all in, huh?
Which is like, there's definitely a lot more plumbing that I had to do. So it doesn't have to be that one, but that's what I did.
Yeah, let's just keep it simple for people who are watching.
Yeah.
Most people don't really know AWS, so I'd say like just using Socket.io or something, set up a WebSocket server. Might be the simplest. Yeah, so you might have to npm install some stuff. We'll see if the agent mode recommends you install. Okay, yeah, just click run.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, since I don't know if you're familiar with the cursor stuff, but you could basically on the right, there's like a file drop down accordion where you can accept it all. Yeah, so this right here, like
Oh, yeah.
It only changed one file, so like technically I like to just review the code and kind of see what it's doing, but does this seem kind of correct? We're creating a socket server.
The question that I have is like, we need a socket server. Is this creating it? Is this actually creating it on the server side, or is this on the client? Like if I want to connect to it, is this, which side is this? This looks like the server side, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is all on the server.
Okay. I mean, this looks correct to me. Looks correct to me.
Yeah, I guess you could try just running it, make sure it works, I guess.
Okay. Do we have a run? Or just like, what do you
Yeah.
use for running TypeScript files? Do you want me to use bun? Do you want me to use TSX? Do you have a preference?
Not really. I guess we could just try whatever it gave us over here. But you did make a good comment of like make a run script.
Okay.
Oh, I should have called it dev. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's running. What do you want me to do?
Sweet. That looks pretty good. Can we just make a WebSockets folder and then throw this in? Because I got a feeling this WebSocket thing is going to be the dumb part of our app. Like I don't imagine a lot's going to be happening over here. So kind of separated from where a lot of the pain points will come in is on the client side, because the client will need to facilitate all this.
Okay.
Cool. And then did you update the package JSON already?
For the run command, yeah, I put /WebSockets here.
Ooh, wow, quicker than I can even see. Okay, so we have the WebSocket server. When I think we can start working on the client side. The client side, I mean, we can go as basic as, maybe we should make this convenient for ourselves. Like we just need an index HTML, and then we need to hook it up to a TypeScript file, like I would just go with Vite. So we have the auto rebuilds already
Mhm.
happening, but I think we need the client side. Like we have to connect to this thing.
Yeah, let's go through Vite. I'd have to probably either use AI or go read the docs or use a reference project. I know you need like a Vite config and
I think you can you do like can you do like npx Vite at init? Is that the like, hey, start it.
like this.
This may be dumb, but yes, is that it? Nope.
Just
Yeah, just go AI.
please set up a simple Vite project that hosts a index.html file.
Dang it.
See what it does. Oh, you're close. npm create Vite at latest client.
Create. Yep.
What did that do? That made a client folder. We got a
Oh,
counter. Doing a lot.
undo that.
Let's see.
Like the create command will do like a little CLI walkthrough. So it will ask you like, hey, do you want to do in TypeScript? Hey, do you want this for styling? Where's your index HTML? Which we probably want. Like it just did vanilla, and I don't think that we want vanilla. No, I'm certain we don't want vanilla. If we try to do this in vanilla JavaScript, we'll die doing the RTC setup.
let me yeah, let me try it manually and see if it typed. There's here it is.
Sweet.
Oh, I guess
I don't think we care about the framework, but like I think you can do vanilla, and then it will ask you, like, do you want to do TypeScript afterwards? There it
okay.
is. Perfect.
Okay.
Done. Now run client. Sweet. All right.
Where's my going on? So it says it's running,
Okay.
but
is it?
let me just try to restart it one more. The fun part about programming, debugging something that should be easy.
You hit refresh?
Yeah, it's like not
What?
running on that port.
It's responding with a 404 though. It's not responding. It's responding with a 404. It created a whole new tsconfig directory. Ugh.
I wonder if it's just pulling the AI is bringing in like old type of V logic or something.
I mean, the AI, like you did this. You like, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I mean yeah.
You generated this. I think it created a whole new folder for all of the client stuff, and it said that you were supposed to. I don't know if you cleared it already. Did you clear it? CD into client, then install, then run dev. I don't think we did that.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and do that then.
Okay. And I don't know if you want two package JSON with two TS configs, but this is what we got right now.
That's fine. We'll clean it up later.
Is it run dev? Yeah. Come on, gimme.
Nice.
Hey, we're in. Okay. So I think we've got an index HTML. We've got a main TS. Yeah, sure. Let's create it. And then we've got a main. This is not where I wanted you to make a main TS.
Yeah, but there's a source folder in there. Maybe it didn't even create the main file.
Source. I think that like it's referencing this file. Like I tried to command click, but cursor took me to the root main TS, not here.
Gotcha.
This is the main TS right now. So Cody, what are you thinking next?
Yeah, how about we try to get the client to connect using Socket.io to the WebSocket server?
Okay. Do you want me to keep all this?
Now you can like delete it all out, I guess.
Okay. Let's just keep, I'm just gonna keep the style. Ooh. You're gone. Let's ask you, did you have the client application in .ts connect to the socket IO on the net? One of the really nice things actually is like if you're gonna make a RTC app, working on it with someone else is very helpful because you need to test that two people can connect to it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Probably just install that. I think it's just missing a package for the client library.
Yeah. CD client install. Yeah, that looks right.
Cool. Yeah, I guess just click accept, and then on another terminal, make sure the WebSocket server is running, because I think it's not running right now.
Come on. Do you have multiple up?
Not right now. You can just click the plus button.
Oh, okay. How do I make, do you know the shortcut to make the AI editor go away? I know how to make the file explorer editor go away, but I don't know how to make this one go away.
Command L. I think you have to press it twice sometimes.
You are correct. npm run, was it dev in the root?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, now it's running on 3000, and now this one's running. So if we reload, you're joking.
Yeah, I guess we had to probably do something with cores.
Ah,
Well, actually, no. It's trying to. I think by default,
is
the
it?
Socket.io client will try to load on port 3000.
Okay.
Is that the port that our actual WebSocket server is running on?
I believe so. Let's go check it out. That is over in WebSockets. Dang it. Index.ts.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's listening on 3000, and then our other one, our V app, is trying to connect to 3000. That seems correct, but
Yeah, we probably just need to set up Socket.io to handle cores. I think they're on different ports, so it's just not going to work. I would just honestly copy paste that whole error and let AI fix it for us on the server side.
that sounds great. Oh, this is HTTP localhost 3000. Is the other one trying to connect to a HTTPS? I haven't checked that, but maybe.
Mm,
No,
the error says
it's HTTP.
standard.
I didn't even know that you got chorus errors on localhost.
You get cores errors everywhere, man. You can't escape it.
I just every time I deal with it, I'm like, I understand it. Then I come back to it. I'm like, I forgot about it.
Although I think it should have added it to the server, not the client. But I mean, we could try.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm gonna say usually you need to change the server to support cores, not the client. You're absolutely correct. AI sucks sometimes, I'll be honest.
you beat it. You beat it. You did the right thing.
But it didn't even do anything, so.
It's
Okay, no changes are needed on the client side. Just make sure you have restarted your WebSocket server after making the change.
go and update the server side. Following code in WebSocket is the correct way to enable cores for Socket.io. Is that what's in the?
Yeah, this is like not the right stuff. You know what? Let's just do the old-fashioned way. Maybe TypeScript and just tell us what to do.
Wait. Finish it off and then like let's go look at what's in the server file. I don't feel like I don't feel like I know what's in the server file anymore.
Oh, I'm looking at the client, aren't I? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Can we rename this index.ts to like websocket.ts? Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they're right. Like, I just didn't even restart the server, so maybe that's... Hey, client connected.
Hey, that's great. So we got a client connected. So this is gonna be pretty jank. It depends on how you want to set up the connecting. I did all of mine in React, but you could do it whatever. It seems like we're going vanilla right now. Maybe just for demo purposes. Over in main TS, right now you've connected. That's great. Usually the first thing that you do, so like there's a couple of ways, like we're doing the poor man's method, right? Where we're connecting peer to peer. We're gonna try that out first.
Yeah.
Okay. Usually the first thing that you do when you connect is you send out a message saying, let's just act like there's two people. That would be more convenient for now. If we wanted to do 2+, we'd have to do a little bit different, but we're going to start with, as soon as you connect, you have no clue who's there. You're going to send a message saying, like, what is the first message that we can send out? We need to send a message saying like, I'm here. I'm like, there is a person here. And they need to have like, we should probably give each computer that's connecting an ID. So I don't know how we can like do IDs, but we just need to send a message out saying that I am here.
How about that? I'm here. Unique ID.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay. Once that's there,
Mm-hmm.
it will be up to whoever else is in the room to respond to that message. So imagine you're the first person that joins. You connect. You send a message saying, I'm here. If no one's in the room, no one will respond to that message and it's over. So you're good. Imagine that you joined, you send that message, no one responds, then I join. I'm going to send a message that says, I'm here. Your computer will see that someone sent a message and will be like, oh, look, someone joined. I want to connect to them. I want to be able to send a message to them. I want to start connecting to them. So we need to create a listener for this message. So we have to listen for this message, and then we're going to react to it. So in Socket.io, we need to set up, how can we see like when we need to listen for this message? That's like high level what we got to do.
I will say that when someone connects, we do get this. So you're saying like from that diagram, when someone connects.
Yeah, keep going.
We're right here, step 1. So we're trying to connect to the WebSocket server, which is this code. And then when we connect, you're saying we need to like broadcast out to everyone else saying that, hey, some user connected. And this is his, eventually we have to send over his session description, his offer.
Yes. We have to let everyone know. We have to let everyone else know that someone's here.
Okay.
There's probably a way that we could make the server do this, but I would stick to the client, like make the clients responsible and treat the server as dumb. Like all the server does is just broadcast messages to everyone. Maybe that's stupid, but that's probably where I'd start.
Sure. Yeah, just listen for that I'm here message, and then I guess you could do IO. I think it's IO.emit will broadcast to everyone who's connected to the
IO.emit.
I think so.
Not socket.
Oh yeah, maybe it is socket.broadcast.
Socket.broadcast. Yeah. Okay. So we're here. We've just seen that someone else is here. What are you thinking next? Do you want me to start this message?
Yeah, let's send over that RTC session stuff.
Okay. So this gets trickier as we have more people, but luckily we have something pretty dumb right now. We need an RTC peer connection like object. So luckily we're only going to have 2 people, so we can just be pretty dumb with it and just say, like, as soon as you join, we're going to make this object. Nothing's in here, but we have it ready to go for us to be able to connect and stuff. So we have I'm here, and we are going to do create offer.
And this runs on the server, or is this supposed to be the client that's sending this stuff over?
This is the client that is sending us stuff over.
Because yeah, you're in the WebSocket file right now.
Oh gosh, dang it. Thank you.
Yeah.
A connection. So this listener is, we don't need this listener. The person that should be listening is the client. Like if we're going to make the client be responsible for this, the client should be listening for this message. Like, hey, did someone send out I'm here? Oh, they did. I need to go respond to it.
Okay. Yeah, move it over to that then.
Okay. So on connect, we have a function. That's when we're going to create the listener. Socket on I'm here, socket dot broadcast. Let's make a RTC pure connection. And we need to fill out some more information up here, but we can come back to that. We will in a second. This is offer. That looks great. And then socket dot emit. Come on, put that in there. We sync. Do you know the difference between socket dot emit and socket dot broadcast?
Broadcast can only be ran on the server side, but it sends it to everyone who's in the WebSocket server.
Got it. Got it.
So I want to make sure I'm on the right page. So we're a client. We connect to the WebSocket server, and then we emit an I'm here message.
Yep.
And should that, instead of saying unique ID, should that have an offer instead? Like we're going to send the offer to the server, and then the server is going to broadcast that offer to everyone else.
So there's a couple different ways that you could do it. My suggestion would be not to start with that. My suggestion would be to just start with an I'm here. If you were to send out an offer, and what if no one is listening? Like you've created an offer, but no one's listening for it. Then your offer just went nowhere. Typically, or at least the way I did it, maybe this is like, I just did the worst practice, is wait to create an offer when you know someone else is there. That's when you should kick this off. So this is like a dummy message. I'm here. And then you're listening for, hey, is there an I'm here? Did someone send this? Now I will go and create an offer. I think that you could send an offer out immediately as an alternative. Maybe it'll be simpler if we just have 2 people.
Yeah, I guess another question is like, could the server store these offers so that when new people connect, the server could just like broadcast to new users? Like here's like the 10 people who already live in the server. Is that something you kind of did on your side project, or?
That would be nice, but no. A offer is only good for one person. So like when I do create offer, only one person can connect to it. You cannot reuse the same offer for multiple people. It's only good for one person.
Okay, yeah, let's just
So you
keep
have
going
to
forward.
generate new offers every time.
Okay, so I admit I'm here. Someone else will see it. That will run this code on their browser, which makes an offer. And then we emit the offer to the server. And then you're saying the server needs to broadcast that to everyone, or it just needs to Like you're
So
saying,
right now, let's just act like there's two people. Just
okay.
act like there's only two people. So I think socket.emit, will this broadcast to everybody? Like if the client does socket.emit, will that go to everybody?
No, you have to actually go here and say like
Oh,
socket.on emit. Or sorry, socket.on offer. So we got a single offer request by somebody, and now it's our responsibility to do like a socket.broadcast if we wanted to, or whatever approach we're trying to do.
interesting. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So it doesn't by default just send it out to everybody. It's not like an MQTT thing. It's you send a message and then you have to tell the server what to do with that message.
Yeah, like I don't think you
Okay.
even have the broadcast method on the client side.
That makes sense. So this is closer to what I was doing in API gateway than I thought. Yeah. This is correct. Like we're gonna emit an offer. I think maybe we'll get here, but like we'll start off, we're just gonna send an offer. We won't even say who it's from. Typically, we'd want to say who it's from because we're gonna have messages going everywhere, but this is fine to start off with. Socket.emit offer. On offer, I think you're correct. We're gonna want to broadcast that an offer was made.
Okay. I will say one concern is the infinite, like, oh wait, an offer.
You're right. You're right. I was hoping that we could dodge who's this from. Like we don't need to worry about that yet, but I only have two people, but you're right. If you send a message saying here's an offer and you don't say who it's from, the person that sent this message is going to be listening for this message and try to connect to themselves. So I think that we should probably make like a message type and say that all messages need to have a from. And I don't care where that type lives, but I think we should probably have a message type. Every message needs to look like this.
So like, how about this? When you get the message I'm here, we emit the offer, which is going to wrap the offer in the unique user ID. And so later on when we broadcast that information, which you're saying I could go here and say like offer.
Do like broadcast message. Just to start off with.
Like something like this. And this would actually be that. And so this is going to broadcast the offer to everyone else, which again, this would probably need to have a shared type or something. I'm going to duplicate it for now. And then you're saying like basically if the user ID is equal to who I currently am, like we just don't do anything. Like we don't want to broadcast it back to ourselves.
Yes. If it's yourself, then we don't want to do anything. I think this is the nuts and bolts. Like you need to know typically like when I did over on my server, like every single message needed to have a from and it needed to have a to. So who's sending the message and who are you trying to send it to? Are you trying to send it to everybody? Are you trying to send it to a specific person? That's what I did. But like to start, like this is great. This is a start for from.
Yeah, that other code, line 24 through 27, you can delete. That was just like AI generated. I'm not even sure if it's correct or not.
Yeah, we'll come back to this. This is a little too fast. And then these, you want to create all of your listeners before sending any messages.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. What do you think of next, Cody?
Go back to the diagram real quick. I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Okay, so we kind of just did 3. We took the offer, we nested it inside some type of wrapped object, and now the connection info. And that gets broadcasted to the other person, which we are implementing now, step 4. Yeah, I guess if we go back to the code after the if statement that we added, what do we do when we get their offer? Like,
Yeah,
how do we connect to them?
great question. So once you receive an offer, oh, maybe we need to do something with unique ID here. I think we have the same problem everywhere. Do you mind if I just this?
Sure.
Otherwise, we have the like forever loop. Okay. Once we have this, a lot of this is correct. We can go through line by line and make sure that it is. But to start off with, on your peer connection, you do set remote description. So this is like, who are you trying to connect to? And that's the event.offer.
Okay.
Or an offer, like in order to create an answer, you have to have this offer set. So we set the remote description, and then we need to create an answer. This answer is the equivalent. It's the message that you're going to send back to me. It's this for. You're creating the info for to send it. We haven't sent it yet, but we are creating the info for it. So you create the answer. It's just some object that has like type and STP. You set the local description. So like that's who you are to be the answer. You've set the remote, you've set your local, and then you go and send the answer and you go emit the answer. That is step 4. So you have just sent this message. We're not listening for that message yet, but we sent the message.
Which is the answer. Like,
yes.
Okay.
Here, maybe.
But you only want to send it to that one user, right? You don't want to broadcast this one. Or does it not matter, I guess?
Yeah, so this is where it gets interesting. Right now, you would not want to broadcast this to everybody, or you would want to have some way to say this answer is very specific. Like I'm trying to send it to Zach. I'm trying to send this answer to Zach. Right now, when there's 2 people, we could just broadcast it because we assume there's only 2 people. So like the only other person listening is me. In the future, you need to have a way to filter out messages from people that it's not supposed to go to.
Okay. Yeah, I guess on the server side, we have to handle that emit answer event.
Yeah. Do you want me to make it similar to this one where?
Yeah, where we wrap it.
Yeah. Can I? Do you care about like? Do you want me to just make an ugly type, or do you want me to try to like unify them?
Oh, you mean like share the types between the both?
Like, yeah, like share them because this one says offer, but we're about to send an answer. Really, we just need a way to specify. We're gonna every message you send, you need to specify who it's from.
Yeah, I'll just do whatever you feel.
All right. Let's say that this is a broadcast. We'll just call this a, I don't know, keep this generic. From, this will be a payload. Type. Let's copy this. T. T. Any. Is it like as any?
I think it
Extends any?
Yeah.
Extends any, yeah. So like all of our broadcast messages, we want to look like this, but our offer message is going to look like that. So when we send an offer, the payload will be an RTC session description in it. And then our answer message. I think if you hover over answer, you can see what the type is. Same thing.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So this one would kind of have to be like that, right?
Yep.
So we got an offer message here.
And then for this one, I changed it to from, but this one did not update. Probably like we don't have types anywhere yet. Nice.
Yeah, I know there's a way to get socket.io set up with typed events. Let's not go down
Yeah.
that rabbit hole.
Yeah, let's not. You're pretty good at dodging some of the rabbit holes. I feel like I struggle with that a little bit. Like, oh, this type is not exactly the way it needs to be. Let me spend 25 minutes getting this type correct.
I
And
just
then I
like to
come back like, what was I doing?
I hack it together, you know. I just
Yeah.
because like even this, we should probably have these types shared somewhere. But then like to get that going,
Yep.
I guess we could just say types.ts and just like share them, right?
Yeah. Look at you're perfected hack and slashing.
What you got to do on a YouTube channel, man, just hack it. People just need to get the general idea, you know.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. I think our shareholders are going to be unhappy though if this is what we launch with.
Okay. We'll just make this video private afterwards. They won't even know. All right, so I think, okay, I moved those to a shared location. I should be able to like,
Okay.
I know, but here's the issue. Is like, this isn't a separate TS config client. So now you have to figure out a way to like share those things.
So you can if you just do relative imports, like it won't give you IntelliSense, but you can still import for something that's not in your project, I think.
Like, okay.
Yeah. So it like, it's janky, but like if it's just a type, it will be fine. Okay.
Okay. Well, which one?
So I think we finished offer and then it sent an answer. So now we need to create a listener for answer on the server. Perfect. All right. And I haven't even talked to you about ICE candidates yet. I don't want to talk to you about them yet. We will get there. Okay. So we've emitted an answer. Let's go make the client listen for an answer now that the server is emitting an answer.
Okay.
So let's see. Socket.on answer message, turn, otherwise set remote description. Is this correct? Thinking. I'm just thinking through some of this.
Yeah, sure.
Basically what you want to make sure is like, do you see set remote description and set local description?
Mm-hmm.
On both sides. So you need to make sure that both computers have done a set remote and a set local. So you just need to think through that. So let's start from the beginning, not from offer, but from I'm here. I think we need to start from there. Right here, we do an I'm here. This computer has not set either of the descriptions. So it doesn't have the local description created, and it doesn't have the remote set, and it sends an offer. Computer 2 receives an offer, and it sets both. It sets remote description and it sets local description. And then it sends an answer. Could you scroll down a little bit, Cody? Then we're back to computer 1. Computer 1 receives an answer and it sets the remote description. Computer 1 has not set its local description yet. That needs to happen. So up here, when we create the offer, we need to set the local description.
Okay. Yeah, go for that.
And if what I'm saying is gobbledygook, please ask questions.
I think it makes sense.
Okay. I think we've just facilitated 75% of what needs to happen, Cody.
Nice. So like, if we tried to load this in like 2 separate browser tabs, like would this even do anything, or would this just break hard?
This would break hard right now. There's a couple things that you probably want this to do. One, we haven't set up video anywhere in here. So these, like, we have a peer connection, like you and our computers are connected, but they're not sending videos or audio. So it's not doing anything. The second thing is you need to handle ICE candidates before these things can connect. So we're like, it would just break spectacularly right now, I think. And even if it worked, even if we did ICE candidates, we're not sending any information to each other yet. All we've done is connect our two computers.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess just, do you think we should do the ice thing next? You want to describe what that is?
But I don't wanna. Yeah, I think that's probably a good thing to do. Let me
Actually, you want
go
to?
reference my project, and then I'll be right back. Maybe you can answer questions while I'm looking at some of that, because I need to remember it a little bit.
Yeah, let me go check out chat.
Okay.
What are the trade-offs of using something like Pure.js for doing WebRTC? Yeah, I mean, I would assume using a library that kind of takes care of a lot of this stuff would probably be a good approach, but I think we're just doing it so we can kind of better understand how it kind of works. Let me scroll up. What's up, Igor? How's it going? Oh, these are pretty old. See the first approach. Do you use Claude for Sonnet? I do believe by default when we're using the agent mode, I usually keep it on auto, honestly, because it seems like auto works pretty well. But from what I understand, it's going to use like some of the best models it can, which would probably be Claude 4.
Okay. ICE candidates.
So the software we're using for pair programming, we're using a mob timer that Zach worked on. I could put the repo link. And then we're using pop so we can both control my computer. You are not listening to I'm here on the server. How old was that message? Oh yeah, we're not. We need to fix that.
Ooh, thank you. Whoever called that out, thank you. Okay. Oh yeah.
Is this a good approach? Front end will receive all messages from all users.
Okay, Cody. I'm ready when you are. Feel free
Sure.
to actually, can you give me like 2 minutes? I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Feel free to answer more questions.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we'll have to like kind of rethink how we're doing with the broadcast thing. Right now we're just, honestly, we're trying to have it just one-on-one connect. We're not worrying about doing multiple users. So we're just assuming that the broadcast is just going to send it to that other user who's in the chat room, I guess. But I think like Zach was saying, like an offer should only be used once. So like we'd have to probably create a separate offer for every other person in the chat room. And so emitting an offer might not make sense just to broadcast it to everyone, you know? He extends any. Is that really meaningful? Probably not, honestly. Because this really should just be, honestly, this whole thing is not really, they're the exact same thing. Like they're both a broadcast message. Okay, so when someone loads the browser, it emits I'm here with the user ID. And that needs to get to the other person who happens to be in the chat room. So we just broadcast it as a little prototype.
Okay, Cody, I am back. Feel free to answer any messages, but I am back and ready when you are.
Yeah, we can just go ahead and start.
Okay. I'm gonna add one thing. And then I'll talk. We can do either one, ICE candidates, or we can do what's it called? We can do ICE candidates, or we can do video. Both need to happen, but we can do either one. Do you want to start with ICE candidates?
Sure.
All right. ICE candidates. Okay. So it's already doing some of it for us. Well, what the hell is going on here? So I showed you the simplified diagram. There is more going on in order to make this happen, and then it's what's called ICE candidates. So what the heck is this? And what did you just paste into my screen? What is happening here is in order for RTC peer connections to happen, you need to have something called a stun server. I don't want to go too in depth because I don't think we need foundational knowledge, and I don't even know if I have foundational knowledge, but I have functional knowledge. So I can go over functional knowledge because we can get really into the weeds. Anyway, the stun server, this server is another server that both are communicating with. And the whole purpose of the stun server is to update information at your public connectivity information as it changes. So Cody, your laptop's connected to the internet right now. You have some IP address. You also have other pieces of information that allows you to update it. Your IP address is not stable. It changes. The way that it gets routed to you also changes. The stun server, its whole purpose is to give and update information about how to connect to you in real time. So if you're seeing what's happening here, Google has generic stun servers. Other ones do too, where you connect to the stun server and it will emit this information for you. So we can build our own stun server. That sounds like not a super fun thing to do, but we can build our own stun server, or we can connect to Google's, and Google will give us this information. But all the stun server does is it emits ICE candidates, and the ICE candidates are how can we connect to your computer publicly. That is what these ICE candidates are doing. Questions yet?
So I mean, is this stuff is used so that when we create the offers and the answers, like it can actually get the correct information for each other? Does that sound accurate?
That is partially accurate. I'm going to keep going.
Sure.
That is partially accurate. When you create an offer, it's a one-time thing. It's here's my information, my public connectivity information at this moment. But as you're just connected to the internet, it changes. It changes, like how someone else can connect to you will update. That is what this server does. It is constantly updating how the best way that you can connect to Cody. This is like a one-time thing. ICE candidates are a continually updating place where that needs to happen, as I understand it.
So like on my browser, does this like just ping the server every once in a while so that it can update the information?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's probably going to give me some code here. See this?
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. RTC peer connection, it already has an event listener for it. It's on ICE candidate. So you don't need to do any of this. This is something that fires automatically as you create an RTC peer connection. Your computer is going to connect to the stun server, and this all happens in the background. You don't need to do any of it. This function will fire every time your ICE candidates update. So this means like, hey, there's a new way that you should connect to Cody. And this is going to like, you need to now broadcast that to everybody else. And you need to do that in real time. So this is ICE candidates. And this is another thing that you need to like keep messages in sync about, if that makes sense.
Did you mention that this is already taken care of though, or are you saying like line 16 is something we do have to implement and we do have to?
No, we do have to implement this.
Okay.
The part that's taken care of is like, this is like this function, this function right here is like it's an event listener, and it automatically fires. Like we don't need to hook it up. As soon as you do this, like this will just start firing messages automatically. But we need to do something with those messages.
But it only fires for like how does it know when the fire? Like, is this for anyone who's ever connected to the stun server, or is this somehow scoped to only know about our peers?
So this is all about you. This on ICE candidate, this is about your own connection. So it has nothing to do with connecting to me or connecting to other people. This is about your connection. So this on ICE candidate updates when Google, I'll say Google, when Google thinks that there's a better way to connect to your computer, your own computer. But so like, imagine this, like Google says like, hey, there's a better way that you can connect to Cody. Sweet. Now you have that event, but you need to tell everyone else, hey, connect to Cody in this way. So you have to emit it to everybody else.
Even if someone's already connected to me, they need that information?
Yes. Yes.
What happens if you don't? Like, will their stuff just eventually just die? Like their video call will just drop?
I believe so, yes. Like, maybe I won't go that far. I think it becomes more unstable if you're not handling this connection. Imagine that, I think it's for situations, imagine you're in like a large college and there's like multiple Wi-Fi routers. As you're walking from like one router to another router, your device is like connecting, it's like reconnecting all the time. You might be getting new stun information as you're connecting from one device to another. So if you want the call to continue throughout that, you need something like this to let everyone know that things are changing. I think that's what's happening here. If it was just like your hardwired internet and my hardwired internet, I don't think that this is super important as I understand it, but I could be totally wrong.
And so what do you do with this candidate thing? Is this something you just have to like on the peer connection, you like do a dot set candidate?
That's exactly what you have to do.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what you have to do. So I think and there's also some nuance of what happens here because messages come out of order. All right. So this is perfect. This is a perfect listener. Like as soon as we're connected, we're going to emit a candidate. Let's make another message type for a candidate.
Is that the right one? Let's see. Like that?
Wait, could you go back to types? Wait, doesn't this one accept? Broadcast message should, I thought I changed it to accept of type T.
Yeah, it was. Let me do this. So
Where'd it go? Yeah.
Technically, it could be like one of these, right? Because now it's like, all right, let me just do back to any. So it was like this, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. Yes. And then this one's going to be different. This message is going to look different. We're going to send RTC ICE candidate. Perfect. That looks good. So the message that we want to send here is the, maybe, would you mind typing this like untyped object on 18? Like we have payload event candidate.
Yeah, let me just do it like that.
Beautiful. Cool. Now we need to make a listener for candidate, which we have not done yet. Let's go make a listener.
On this, on the
Do you want
WebSocket
to, yeah,
side,
let's
right?
do this. Yeah, let's do the server. Let's do the server. Let's make sure the server is broadcasting it. Cool. All right, let's go make a listener for it on the client side.
Okay.
Awesome. So this is add ICE candidate. Okay. To you, you're probably looking at this and you're like, this looks great. This is also going to fail, Cody. This is what drove me mad is like, there's lots of listeners. Here's one of the big problems, is the timing. If you scroll up to look at where on ICE candidates is happening, what will happen here is we will be like, this may be a problem. This might not be a problem because we only have 2 people. But if you look what's happening, before we've even done anything, before we've even connected, we are sending messages out. So like you and I, our computers haven't even connected yet. And yet I'm sending you a message saying, hey, here's my ICE candidate. And this will emit like 10 messages before you've even like connected to someone else. And you have this listener, this socket.on candidate, like you're going to get this message. This event listener will start firing before you've connected to other people. And when you do RTC peer connection.add ICE candidate, I think it might throw an error because you have not, like, this RTC peer connection will get angry and say like, you haven't connected anyone. I can't add an ICE candidate to someone you haven't connected. And we may need to go handle that, Cody. We may need to go handle that. Okay. I just want to give a warning to start off with. I don't think that we should handle it yet until we see that it's a problem. I'd like to see it be a problem before we go and tackle it, but I'm guessing it's going to be. But I think you just did the add ICE candidate part of this.
Okay, I think it kind of makes sense.
Okay. And I think, is there anything? Let me look for ICE candidates. Let me make sure that I am not crazy and I did not miss anything with ICE candidates. Remote ICE candidates. Ha ha ha. Yep. Add ICE candidates. Ugh. I could have handled this better in my own app. Now I'm looking at it. I'm like, what are you doing? And are we awaiting add ICE candidate? It should be a promise.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, we are. Okay, cool. Okay. I think that we have ICE candidates. I don't think we have any of the videos yet. But I think we're at a point when, like, if you were to start up 2 browsers, they would be able to connect to each other and we shouldn't see errors. I think we're at that point.
You want to try that locally? Does that, so when you're doing testing for your app, did it seem to all work locally when you tried this stuff? Or do you actually have to have 2 separate computers to test this?
No, you can do it locally. I think the part that is helpful when you need 2 computers is like when you start sending video and seeing that the video is working.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you can open up 2 tabs and it should trigger both of these.
You want to try it? You're driving.
Heck yeah, I want to try it. Okay, let's try this. Let's go check our WebSocket messages. 6 looks good.
One of those.
Oh, let's. Whoa.
I think if you filter to WebSocket over here, it might.
Yeah. Where is? You can like view the messages. Is it messages? This great. Okay. I would have expected to see the "I'm here" message sent out, and I don't see that. I see a ping. I don't know what these are for, but
Yeah, just check the other WebSocket, the Socket.io calls. Or is that the only WebSocket one?
where is
Right here.
oh, WS? Ah,
Huh. Should be the first one. I mean, maybe because we haven't restarted our server in a while, we're not using NodeMon or anything, so it doesn't like auto
oh
restart.
yeah, oh yeah. Okay. Want me to restart the server?
Sure.
Whoa. This is the client. This is the server. Client connected. Let's refresh. Let's clear and refresh. And oh, this token one I think is Veet.
I wonder if is Socket.io like encoding it in some special type of way. Kind of weird how there's not.
5. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can open up another tab, but like, I guess I would have expected to see our, hey, I'm here message.
Yeah, maybe add console logs to all the event listeners on the server just to see if it is actually getting into there.
Oops. Yeah. And the server side. WebSocket, let's say. Cool. I think it's all of them. Let's restart that. No. Do you pay for Cursor?
Yeah, I have a subscription for it. Find it pretty useful to use.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And go. And
Here.
I'm here. I'm here.
Socket broadcast. Oh, I think someone in the YouTube chat mentioned that socket broadcast emit will send it to everyone but the socket itself. So like this will never be sent back to the same client who's sending it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So all that logic that we put in here is basically we don't need to do for like ignoring messages from ourselves.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I do have questions about the broadcast in general. Like, let's not go down. Yeah, just open up a new tab, I guess, and see.
Let's let it rip. Go for it.
5173. I guess what would we be expecting to see?
One, I think that we'd be looking for. It didn't like if you're looking your console, in your client, it didn't explode is one thing. The second thing is like looking at the messages. Did the messages that we sent and the order that we sent them make sense? Hey.
So we sent.
No, it received "I'm here."
Oh, okay. We sent the
And then
offer to him.
it sent an offer, and then it received an answer. Hey, that's pretty neat.
And we should have seen the exact same events if we had this thing opened, right? Like it should
We
have
would have
gotten.
seen slightly different ones, like it would have been flip-flopped, but yeah,
Okay.
cool. I think this is pretty great. You have no idea how long it took me to create the first one of these when
Yes.
I was starting. My ordering was so off.
Hey,
So
thanks for
I
the
think
follow.
that theoretically we are connected. You want to do videos next?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The next thing is videos. Let me go take a look at my project, and make sure I have got videos down. Um, Feel free to answer questions while I go take a look at for reference.
What are you using for pair programming? Yeah, let me get that link for you. My Discord.
Mhm, mhm.
So that's the link for the ensemble timer, which you'll see kind of pops up every 5 minutes and tells us to switch. And then we're using pop for the actual like screen share. So he can connect to my computer and control my cursor editor and whatnot.
Hmm. On track. Da 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 da. Event. Okay. Okay.
For those watching
Okay, I
the
think I got
stream,
it.
remember to like the stream if you're watching. Leave some comments. Help the engagement. All right, let's go. What you got?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is, as you come in, you need to like turn on your camera, and like it needs to get your video and your audio feeds. My recommendation, and that has nothing to do with RTC peer connections. That is that's a media stream.
Mm-hmm.
Before doing any of this connection, before starting any of this, we should get the local user's feed first. So have you ever done anything with like video and audio before? Like getting stuff from the camera?
I think a long time ago I've used like the built-in SDK, but I don't remember how to do it.
Yeah, I gotcha. I'm gonna copy and paste some stuff for you. Okay. So this is gonna be junk. We need to figure out where to put the junk, but this might be a good place to start. Okay. So if you want to get someone's audio and video tracks, it's navigator.mediadevices.getUserMedia. And it's a promise because when you try to do this, the browser will ask like it needs to have permission. So it'll like wait for the user to have permission, and the promise will reject if the user says like, no, you don't have permission to use my audio or video.
Okay.
Um, so this is, we need to do this before we start any of the connection stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning if we could have a button that a user has to click before it like starts running all this stuff.
I think that makes sense. I didn't know how far you wanted to go down the like adding a UI to this. This all this junk that we've got here, because if we're not,
Yeah, at the very least, because I know like when we save a file, Vite's gonna refresh and then it automatically reruns the connections and all this stuff. I think having a button so we can manually do it might help with debugging. I don't know.
I think that totally makes sense. I think it totally makes sense.
Yeah, so I
Um,
guess how's I guess in the index HTML Like I think you just literally could add a button inside that app div somewhere. I think the div,
Yeah.
a div a little bit
Oh
above.
yeah.
Maybe a button that says start. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
And then in main TS, like I would just say like create an on-click listener somewhere at the very start of this.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap all this in it. Oops, there it is. Start button. Add event listener. Click. Blah blah blah. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is wait for this, and then we want to do all of our start the connection and start sending messages.
Okay. Kind of inclined to move all that RTC stuff to a separate TypeScript file, just so we can kind of encapsulate it. Does that sound good?
I think that's a good idea. RTC connection. So it gets a little funky between the RTC connection and the WebSocket because like you need both in there.
Okay. I would just call it connection, honestly.
Okay.
Then I'm fine putting both of those.
Let's do it. I'm gonna grab everything and throw it over there except for the start button to start with. Okay. Now it's all over here.
Yeah, I'd probably export a function that says like start connection.
Okay. Do you want to keep these as globals or do you want to scope it?
I would scope it probably.
Okay. Start connection. In order to start connection, we're going to need a media stream, local stream, and no, I want to accept it as an input. I don't want to create it. Cool. Perfect. Okay. Let's go and grab this stuff. I think all the connect and disconnect stuff, throw in there. On ice candidate, again, this one may cause us some problems, but we'll just slap it up top for now. And then we're like, this local stream is coming over from here, which is great. So we don't need this. And then we have okay. Okay. So we have the local stream. Okay. We can call this function. The first thing that you want to do is like once you have your stream is RTC peer connection dot, it is not this, it is add track. Actually, let's loop through them. So this local a media stream has multiple tracks. Like that's how it differentiates between like video and audio. So let's loop through the stream. It'll be local stream dot. Okay, perfect. And this is now we've added our own video and audio to the RTC peer connection. And I'm going to make sure that that is the correct way to do it. That is correct. We just added the tracks. Great. So that's one side of it. We've added our own connection. And so when you connect to someone else, you'll automatically start sending your tracks. So this is looking good. We need to create another listener on the RTC peer connection. So in RTC peer connection, there's another event listener that's called on track. That's the one. Console log. That is like the least helpful thing. What you're going to want to do is I have it on track. You're going to want to do something like this. That. Don't worry too much about those names. That name, where's that name coming from? Where's my remote media stream? This is, got it. Okay. Remote media stream is this. So like you've added your tracks, your RTC peer connection, when it detects that like, let me talk in terms of you and me. If you're on your computer and we're talking to one another, this event will fire when I add tracks to the media stream. So this is that event listener. And what you need to do is like, what do you want to do with those tracks, with the audio and video tracks? So you want to create a media stream and you want to add it to the RTC peer connection. So remote media stream, add track, and I think, what do we do with the remote media stream? Why am I doing this? Do we need to do this? This is close, but not exactly right. Do we need to do this? Did I have to do this for a special reason?
I mean, it looks like you have an event dispatcher, so like maybe there's somewhere else in your code you're just listening to know when stuff was added. Because
I did need to know when someone else's stuff was added. Why did I need to do that? But like, do we need to do it for our application right now? I'm wondering if by default it's just handling this. Because like I make a media stream. I think it was like in React, I needed to know, like when you and I first connect, your video stream is basically null. And so you need to know when did someone add a video so that you can start displaying it. And so I needed an event to trigger for React to say, hey, they added their video. Maybe we don't need this right now. I think it might be best for us to just log, maybe just console log on track, like when it happens, and we can come back to this.
yeah, because I'm guessing somewhere this track has like the information that you need to put it into like HTML5 video component or something, right?
Yes. This is the add to track. What am I doing with this remote media stream? I don't want to go too far down that route. I think we'll just log the on track and maybe this will be enough. I think it's not, but maybe it will be. Okay. Now, theoretically, we're sending videos back and forth to one another. Or at least your tabs are. So what are you thinking next, Cody? We're not displaying those videos. We're not doing anything with them, but we have potentially 2 videos.
Yeah, I guess make sure you call start connection from that main somewhere.
Okay. There we go.
I guess let's just make sure our button works. Like we added a button. I wonder if you click it now.
Yeah. Wow. That looks really good. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm. Camera, microphone, not all.
Oh,
How do you?
blocked. Do you want me to like allow it?
Is there a way to see
Nice.
this? Okay, looks like it's recording now.
Sweet. So we're not displaying your video, but your video is good to go now. Do you want to display, like, do you want to do a janky show your video display?
Yeah, if we can get like your video, like 2 videos displayed on the page somehow.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me grab some of my setup over here. Video component, but mine's all in TypeScript or in React. So let me show you what it looks like. So I'll show you an example. And also as a heads up, I'm having a great time. I wish I could keep going. I have like 5 more minutes and then I gotta head out.
Yeah, no worries. And we could try to. I want to do this more with people and just like get more collaborative stuff going on my channel.
Yeah. So, this is in React, but it'll be just more not declarative, imperative for us. You create a video element, and let's forget all the classes, let's forget the styles, forget the ref. So you need this video element, and when you load it up, you set the source object to the media stream. So you know how we created something called a local stream, like which is a media stream. All we got to do is on this HTML component, we need to set source object to the stream, and then it should start displaying video.
Okay.
So I can
Source
do that
object.
over in the main TS, like basically immediately if we want to, but we need a video component. Want me to go add that to the index?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Put that below. We'll make it a video. I'll call this local stream video. Nothing in here. It will be blank. Video. It's not a rodeo. All right, video. Cool. Oh wait.
I wonder if you need the autoplay stuff.
Plays in line. Great. And then we'll do remote stream video. Okay. So now we have both. We should be able to set this now. Over in main.
Probably just needs to be
come on.
casted or something.
Yeah, can I say that this is the HTML video component? Video element?
You could probably just delete. I don't know if the remote one would be useful here.
Oh yeah.
I'm guessing that's like when the event comes in, somehow we'll get it.
Great. I think this is enough. Like, you should be displaying a video now.
Yeah, go back to Chrome. Maybe I have to restart it.
Cody, I don't think that's enough. I think you need to wait.
Come on.
Do we need to define a size for it? Like,
It could be.
we did video, but we haven't defined anything about it. Oh, I spelled it wrong. It's VIDDEO.
Oh, I thought I saw you fix it. Maybe we didn't save the file.
I thought I didn't.
Let's see. I mean, it should load the moment. Or do you have to click start for it to work? Oh,
You have to hit start. Hey, that's the guy.
I was doing. It's like doing audio too.
Yeah. Do you want us to not do? Yeah, let's make it not do audio. If you go to the local stream video, this component or this element,
Mm-hmm.
Right down here on like 20.5.
Like here?
Yes. Do dot volume equals 0. So you want to capture your audio because you need it to upload to me, but you don't want it to display your own audio. Like when you're displaying the video element, you don't want it to actually play noise for yourself.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I think,
Testing,
there
testing,
he is.
testing. Pretty cool.
Sweet, sweet.
So now it's like, can we get the remote?
Now I have like 2 minutes left. I have
Oh,
like
yeah.
2 minutes left. Can we get remote? Let's go. Okay. Janky time. The place that you're gonna do this is over in. When does this happen? Let me go check. Let me go reference. New media stream, remote media stream, add track. You need to display it somewhere. Okay. I know I'm talking to myself right now, and I apologize.
No, you're good.
Remote media stream. Ah. Okay. Here's where things get interesting. All right. So this is going to be janky, but I think it'll work. If you open up our on track.
Mm-hmm. Right here.
Okay. Let's make a remote media stream. Let's make a const called a remote media stream, and you're just going to do new media stream. Perfect. Now in here, you're going to do this. I'm going to paste it in. You're going to, like, this event has the other person's tracks inside of it. So we're going to go through them. We're going to loop through them. And for each one, add it to the remote media stream. I don't think we need any of this. That was stuff that I needed to do for React. So we've just added it. Is this a promise? No, great. We've just added it. Now you can go display it on the page. So you should have audio and video now. So this is going to be janky. Yep. This should now be working.
And so the on track will only ever give us the remote ones, like that, like the peer. Let me try it out. I know you got to go in a second. Let me.
I believe that is correct. Come on. Dang it. Dang it. Is it exploding?
Doesn't seem to run my debugger at all.
Dang it.
I mean, I wonder if maybe it's because I'm on the same like computer.
It should still work because you're sending messages to yourself. It should still count it. Like you should still be able to facilitate this, even on localhost. Like I remember I was able to.
Yeah, I think we're probably not calling add track somewhere, maybe.
On track.
Like, do you call add track like somewhere else in your?
Oh, let me see. Add track. No. You only do RTC pure connection add track for your own connection. You don't do that for the other person, if I remember right. It's yeah. I think we are very close. We are very close. All right, Cody. I think I got to drop.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. Thanks for explaining everything. That's pretty fun. I enjoyed learning more about RTC. I guess, yeah, let me know
man,
if you want to do it again. Let me know.
I had a great time. I wanna learn over on the other side, more of the gather side, like how you were making the game. If we could connect those 2 worlds, I think that would be pretty cool to see happen. But I think we are very close to displaying the remote video as well.
Cool. Yeah, I'll get this all committed to a repo. Maybe we can just like build upon it.
Cool. Alright.
Hey man.
Chat, take care. Cody, take care. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for joining. Yeah, have a good weekend. All right, let me turn my camera on for a second. Oh, hold on. Excuse me. All right. Cool. All right, how's it going, everyone? Yeah, so that was kind of a sneak peek of how we actually do pair programming at work. Like we just legit just sit in a Zoom, try to build stuff together. Some of the stuff I probably would have like we could probably try to vibe code to see if Cursor could just help us figure out what's going on here. Can you help me figure out why the remote video isn't showing up? I would at least like to get this to like a kind of working state, you know? It didn't seem like it actually found an error, so I might have to spend time looking through this. All right. Yeah, I have to check out Media Soup. Honestly, a lot of the stuff we did on the stream was mainly for like, I wanted to learn more about WebRTC, and he demoed a thing he built on the side, where basically had people like, kind of like a Zoom he did. And so I thought it'd be cool to kind of like learn more about it. So I do have a better understanding of how it all works. I think there's some things in here that would need to be refactored to work for like multiple people, obviously. Like this, you'd have to dynamically add in more people as they connect and disconnect. And I need to figure out how, like this is never called. Let me full screen some of this stuff. Close out of pop. Close out of this. It might be some type of like, the event is not sending. Like probably like a race condition or something. Anyway. Oh, my camera's gone. Where did my camera go? Weird. Cool. Well, any final questions? I might end the stream. Kind of tired. That was a lot of fun. The theme I'm using is, yeah, bearded theme stained blue. Right. Cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just end the stream. Thank you all for joining in. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you guys had some fun watching two engineers pair program together. I know it's a little bit different, but if you watched from the beginning, hopefully you learned a little bit about RTC, how it kind of works, how you use the WebSocket server to basically let these two browsers communicate to each other and send over their connection info. Talked a little bit about the ICE candidate stuff, which I think I feel like I 70%, 80% understand. I have to kind of ask AI to explain a little bit more, but I think it kind of makes sense. And then it's just a matter of getting this kind of working. I'm sure there's like a teeny little bug somewhere. I'm assuming a race condition where I click the start button on one browser, but the other browser's not listening for the WebSocket events yet. So I might actually need to connect to the WebSocket server. Let me try that. I'm going to try a quick little refactor. Can you refactor to set up the WebSocket connection in the client when the page loads, but don't send over the RTC stuff yet until they click the button? Let me just see if this is the issue. Not sure I like that change, but let's just see if it works. Cool. Looks like it's working. So I think the video on the right is the peer. And then this is my local. Yeah, it looks like it freezes the remote when I disconnect. So yeah, I think that was the issue, is like we have to be connected to the WebSocket server at some point. So I'll probably read through this code to make sure I understand a little bit better and then make it a little bit more resilient depending on timing and stuff. All right, later all. Thank you for joining. Have a good day and happy